got some wild news coming straight out of the FBI files. The feds just dropped some serious tea about Jennifer Lopez possibly being tangled up in Diddy's shady business. That's right, things are getting messy and the drama is only heating up. With both of these icons in the spotlight, you won't want to miss what's about to go down. Remember those old parties with Jay-Z, J.Lo, and Diddy? Yeah, those were legendary and went on for years. But now it turns out Diddy's famous white parties are what got him and a bunch of others into some serious trouble. And guess what? Jay-Z might be wrapped up in this mess too, with rumors saying he could be even worse than Diddy. In a cheeky Instagram post, 50 put up a pic of Jay-Z on a milk carton with the caption saying, "Anyone seen Jay? LOL." Another post showed Jay-Z waving goodbye to Diddy's jet, referencing the rumor that Diddy had bolted the country on his private plane. Diddy and 50 are tight, and when Diddy got arrested, everyone knew Jay-Z would be in the mix too. And then there are these photos that blew up online showing Jay-Z hanging out with Diddy, J.Lo, and Aaliyah. Aaliyah was a huge star before her tragic death in a plane crash in 2001, and she had a wild history with both Diddy and R. Kelly. In '94, when R. Kelly was 27, he secretly married the 15-year-old Aaliyah, claiming she was 18 on the marriage certificate. That marriage went down in flames, but Aaliyah's career took off despite the scandal. Funny enough, while R. Kelly was messing around with Aaliyah, Jay-Z was also trying to get in her good graces. And speaking of rumors, Jay-Z has faced his share of controversy, especially when it comes to underage girls. One notable rumor involves his relationship with Foxy Brown, who was just 16 when they started dating while he was 27. To make things worse, reports say Jay-Z paid Foxy to keep things hush-hush, and even his buddy Dame Dash backed that up when pressed about it. Despite Dame Dash getting offensive about the Foxy Brown question, Nick Cannon didn't hold back, blowing the scandal wide open. Diddy, Jay-Z, and R. Kelly share some disturbing similarities. In one of the lawsuits filed against Diddy by his former producer, Lil Rod, serious allegations emerged that Diddy was involved with underage girls. Lil Rod accused Diddy of sexual misconduct, forced drug use, and grooming. Reports suggest that Diddy regularly partied with sex workers and underage girls, requiring them to sign NDAs. But the connections between Diddy and Jay-Z go even deeper. They might both be gay. According to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Diddy allegedly had relationships with male celebrities including Usher, Meek Mill, and Stevie J. One excerpt from the lawsuit states that Diddy informed Lil Rod that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with a rapper and an R&B singer, with Stevie J also mentioned. The footnotes describe the rapper as a Philadelphia artist who dated Nicki Minaj, while the R&B singer performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Las Vegas residency, Meek Mill's and Usher. Meek Mill fits the rapper's description, being from Philly and having dated Nicki from 2014 to 2016. As for the R&B singer in the lawsuit, the clues lead to Usher, who performed at the Super Bowl in 2014 and had a successful Las Vegas residency starting in 2022. Jay-Z has also faced allegations of being gay, with 50 Cent being one of the individuals who called him out. And if you're wondering where J.Lo fits into all this, here's the surprise. Diddy and Jennifer Lopez were once an item, but they split in 2001 after 2 years together. In a 2003 interview with Vibe, Lopez revealed Diddy had been unfaithful to her. Despite their breakup, the two have maintained a close friendship, even going live on Instagram together during the pandemic. Many internet users speculated that J.Lo knew about Diddy's actions all along and was covering for him. Lopez has previously protected Diddy, famously saving him from years in prison during the infamous 1999 club shooting. So back in '99, everyone thought the whole club shooting with Diddy and J.Lo was just brushed under the rug since he didn't get hit with any charges. But now this new lawsuit from Lil Rod is flipping the script, claiming that Diddy's young rapper protege, Shine, got the raw end of the deal with his sentence. So what's the tea on this lawsuit and what really went down that night over 2 decades ago? Matthew wasn't having it and shoved Diddy back, which kicked off a chain reaction. One of Matthew's boys even tossed a stack of cash in Diddy's face. Talk about disrespect. Then out of nowhere, gunshots rang out, cutting through the music and throwing the whole club into chaos. 3 innocent folks got caught in the crossfire, 2 guys and a woman who took a bullet to the face. She was rushed to the hospital as chaos unfolded. As the cops rolled in, the vibe shifted from party mode to a scene straight out of a horror movie. Diddy and J.Lo got detained after they found a gun in their ride when they were trying to leave the club. What a night, right? Diddy's been claiming for a minute that he didn't throw Shine under the bus, even though the evidence kinda shows otherwise. He insists he never pressured anyone to say anything that would mess up Shine's case. But Shine still swears Diddy set him up and sent him to prison. But hold up, if you think that's the only time J.Lo had Diddy's back, just wait until you hear about the sexual assault cases against the music mogul. Even though Diddy and Lopez are tight as friends now, despite their past, J.Lo has never said a bad word about him. That's wild, especially considering Diddy had already sexually assaulted multiple women before they even got together. And after J.Lo, the assault cases kept piling up. Is it possible that her relationship with Diddy was the only one without drama? Maybe. But a lot of folks think J.Lo is covering for him. One piece of evidence they point to, Lil Rod's lawsuit reveals that Diddy was allegedly recording explicit sex tapes of various celebs and politicians back in the early 90s. Lil Rod claims that during those infamous freak-off parties, Diddy had hidden cameras all over his laptop lavish homes. He even noted that he discovered hidden cameras in every room where he stayed at his place. The lawsuit mentions that Diddy had recordings of big-name figures like Lucian Grange, as well as other celebs and politicians, all without their knowledge. That makes it even crazier. The lawsuit claims that Diddy still has compromising footage of everyone who attended those wild parties. Because of this treasured trove of dirt he's sitting on, Diddy thinks he's untouchable. It turns out Diddy was up to his shady stuff as early as the 90s. In November 2023, a woman named Joy Dickerson-Neal filed a lawsuit saying Diddy sexually assaulted her and even recorded it. Joy was in the same social circle as Diddy. They crossed paths while filming the music video for Straight from the Soul. She turned down his advances over and over, trying to keep it professional. But then, on January 3rd, 1991, she reluctantly agreed to dinner with him at the famous Wells restaurant in Harlem, known for its chicken and waffles since 1938. During dinner, Joy had to use the restroom and left her drink unattended. That moment gave Diddy the chance to spike her drink. When she came back, she had no idea what had happened. After dinner, Diddy insisted she join him for a few errands, and she went along, a choice she'd regret. As they drove through the city, Diddy pulled out a blunt and asked her to hit it. She reluctantly agreed, and that's when things got hazy for her. Joy claims Diddy intentionally drugged her, leaving her unable to stand or walk on her own. He took her to where he was staying, and that's where things took a dark turn. Joy alleges that Diddy sexually assaulted her in a place she thought was safe. To make things worse, she later found out he secretly recorded the whole incident without her consent. Lil Rod claims he had more than one close call with Diddy. He says Diddy drugged him and assaulted him along with some other guys. Lil Rod remembers waking up at one of Diddy's wild parties feeling dizzy and confused, completely naked in bed with Diddy and two sex workers. And it turns out, Lil Rod wasn't the only one with a story. A woman known as Jane Doe came forward on the same day with a really disturbing tale about her experience with Diddy. Her lawsuit paints a terrifying picture of coercion and assault, not just involving Diddy, but also singer Aaron Hall. According to Jane, she and a friend went to an MCA event in the early 90s, and that's where Diddy and Aaron invited them to an after party. Once they got to Aaron's place, Jane claims Diddy pressured her into doing things she didn't want to do. Things got even worse when Aaron barged in and pinned her down, making her go through some really horrible stuff. And that's not all. Diddy and former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre are also facing accusations from another Jane Doe who was just 17 at the time. Court documents say this incident happened in 2003. The plaintiff claims Pierre approached her at a lounge in Michigan, bragging about being best buds with Diddy. To prove it, he called Diddy, and then they convinced her to take a private jet to Diddy's studio. The lawsuit includes photos that Jane says were taken at the studio that night, including one of her sitting on Diddy's lap. Once there, Jane claims Diddy, Pierre, and another guy loaded her up with drugs and alcohol and subjected her to some really messed up stuff that's hard to even describe. With all these stories coming out, it makes you wonder if J.Lo had any idea about Diddy's dark side, especially since he's been a monster before and after their time together. What's even weirder is that a lot of women connected to Diddy have stepped up to expose him, while others, like Kim Porter, have died under mysterious circumstances. When Kim passed away on November 15, 2018, they first said it was pneumonia, but later reports classified her death as a homicide due to toxins found in her body. Kim was working on a book before she died, and a lot of people think she was about to spill the beans on Diddy. So as we wrap this up, it's pretty clear that Diddy's got a lot of skeletons in his closet, and the stories keep piling up. From Lil Rod and Jane Doe to Gina Hun, these accounts paint a really disturbing picture of his past. And it makes you wonder, did J.Lo know more than she let on while they were together? With all these allegations swirling around, it's hard to believe she was completely in the dark. After all, Diddy's been a questionable character long before and after their relationship. It leaves us with a lot of questions about accountability in the industry. Were these women's voices heard? And what about the role J.Lo might have played? The more we dig, the more it feels like there's a lot more to this story than we know.